400 here, 53, Estia Province, blue team. It's YZ as an Eldar Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat, powerful buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. Alongside, Big Mathis is an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura, some Imperial Fists over here. Rounding off this team then, Bruce Campbell as a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair, wade into melee combat too. This is the Lamenters scheme, right? Red team, a whole bunch of Orks. First up is D.O.G as a Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Alongside here, oLev as a Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures, disrupt and repair. And rounding off the teams, it's Cudder as a Kommando Nob, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style, begins range combat with a twin link shooter, taking some shots from the Techmarine over there. West side, Farseer versus Warboss. Warboss got a lot of changes in 271. In fact, let me look them up. Let's look them up as this fight develops here. Banshee's coming in. Warboss base hit points, as you can see, down to 900 from 920. That was a good stomp. Is Now I'm Angry from the Angry Bits. The speed bonus is now +1 instead of +1.5, and he now gets less hit points regeneration from using Angry Bits 2. Banshees getting away. Yes, they are. Farseer chasing around some shooter boys. The Now I'm Angry melee damage bonus also reduced from 35% to 30%. Big Stomp, which is given to him by Cyborg Implants, now has a shorter cooldown by 5 seconds. Heavy Armor, which is his big, tough armor that gives him 900 hit points, now also gives him some hit point regeneration. So that got a nice little buff. Bang Bang Hammer damage reduced from 150 damage per swing to 120 damage per swing, which is 75 DPS to 60 DPS, a pretty sizable decrease there. Looks like the special attack damage also reduced on the Bang Bang Hammer quite a lot, from 90 to 55. Cost was reduced though from 125.25 to 120.20, and the boss pole buff to the Warboss himself. He used to get 10% health from it, but now he gets no bonus from the boss pole himself. So lots of changes to the Warboss, some nerfs, some buffs, and some interesting stuff. What happened in the mid? Looks like the Mekboy. Oh, I thought he went down. He's alive with 5 hit points. Getting the hell out of there. Shooter boys are not going to be able to outshoot that stuff, I don't think. Need to get out of there. There we go. Dropping models needlessly a little bit, but they want to defend that power, and here comes some more shooter boys from Cudder to do so. Sluggers in there, also infiltrated there by Hide the Boys, the global ability of the Commando. Not going off in attacks. What are they up to? Oh, they're trying to look for those devs, I think. Not sure how long it lasts. I think it's a decent amount of time. Now they're being revealed by the scouts in range with their sergeant, who can spot sneaky things. Oh, lots of dead stuff over here. It's like a pile of storm boys there. These guys jump in with power melee weapons, become nice and strong in tier 2, much like sluggers. Ork melee squads really like their tier 2 upgrades. Apothecary here with his customized storm bolter can use that to shut down enemy heroes, or just Nob leaders and stuff like that. Be pretty useful. Techmarine levels up as he's down. Apothecary should be able to revive him over there. Get some XP for himself. XP was reduced for reviving in 271. Like by quite a lot, like by half, I think. But you still get a sizable amount. Banshees with a nice special attack, knocking the sluggers all over the place, and special attacks win you melee fights. Lots of Daka though persuades them to leave. Warboss mixing it up in the back lines. Needs to be careful though. Just trying to keep that shuriken tied up. Not sure why he didn't go for the garrison. Maybe he was just too knocked around. Hard Boys goes up on the Warboss himself. That's one of his global abilities, but why not save him here? And in fact he goes down. Nicely done, Farseer. Now it's a shooting match, and I think the shooters have it. Both of them trying to get in behind cover. Shooters can go around here and shoot them down, I think. There's 2 of them. 465 to 429 on the VPs early on. Drop pod pulled in by Big Mathis. Looks like he got some Marines out of it too. There is a version of the drop pod that just reinforces your stuff. the pod that drops Marines no longer reinforces your stuff, I believe. But still very, very powerful. Going to quick tactical Marine squad into the field. Apothecary is level 2. Double shurikens for YZ in tier 1 here. Warboss is going to rely on the Storm Boys to open up those engagements now. Does he have angry bits? He doesn't. There's the jump. Banshees are there waiting though. Farseer can also deal with melee squads relatively well, getting her Gravity Blade, which I believe was buffed in 271 if I remember correctly. If she gets it, I'll go and look it up to make sure. Sluggers need to be careful. Farseer is okay, I think. Yes. So much Daka though. Hasn't really been able to put the pressure on those shooter boys in those engagements, so they're able to just sit there and shoot away. Talking of shooting away, Generator's going to go down on the east side. Looks like lots of pressure from this Apothecary. I don't think he's been off the field yet, Big Mathis. He retreated one of his Marines, and they're coming back at a base now. But I think his Apothecary and the rest of his stuff has been there since the start, pretty much. You'd think Orks would have the upper hand early going against double Space Marines, but it hasn't been the case. Down goes the Kommando. Got a nice stun bomb off, but I don't think anything's going to be able to take real advantage of it. Is looters now with their death gun, not quite reaching that little blob of Marines. I mean, they aren't reinforcing off that drop pod, right? I believe that was... Oh, and once it's down on the field, I believe you can still reinforce off it. You just don't get those free reinforcements from the drop of the Marine delivering version. Upgraded shooters, dodging a grenade, need to try and focus down the scouts. Get those guys out of there. Their grenade and shotgun utility can be really painful for Orks. These guys, both with sergeants for Big Mathis. Mekboy with his death gun also. Some more suppression, shutting down this little group here quite effectively. Allowing the damage to be poured on. I think he should be focusing down the Apothecary here. Get him off the field. Some more Dagger coming in from the flank, and Big Mathis finally is persuaded to leave. D.O.G is getting confused by something. Looks like he had a pretty dicey engagement there. Maybe he got hit by a grenade. Nope, no grenades are up. Not sure. Maybe he just got caught too close to this Guardian Weapon team. Tier 2 all round apart from oLev, who lost his sluggers. Cudder also losing his sluggers. Sluggers having a rough time on the east side. Would like to see a Dreadnought up. Maybe a Razorback too for those Space Marine players. 419 to 414 on VPs is so close. Nothing really to choose. No attempt to dip into the power here from YZ. Might regret that, because he felt it wasn't in the position to do so. Where are the Banshees? They were back. I bet if they were fully healthy, he would have gone in on those generators. Looks like Cudder believes Big Mathis is going to go double whirlwinds. He's got one on the way. I guess he's played against him before or with him and knows his style. Going to be interesting to see. Double whirlwinds. Mekboy can do some nasty things though if he gets his beamy death gun, teleport in behind the whirlwinds and get some rear armor hits. That would be a third whirlwind pretty fast. Infiltrated scouts over here. The shooter knobs will spot them, but they're getting too close to these devs and forced off the field. Some looters over here infiltrated. We'll might see some nasty grenades on the looters. Nothing here to spot them. These shooter boys do not have their knob leader. Boom, boom. Almost finished them off. Got pretty close to doing so. They do get away with 2 models though. War Banner goes up behind a shot blocker. Bit of a stalemate though in the middle. Meanwhile, west side is blue. D.O.G is moving towards the middle. Storm Boys have their knob leader. That guy has a heavy melee weapon and it allows them to stun on landing. Sluggers also with their knob leader, so they're now pretty scary as well. Warboss himself with nothing is level 2. There's that whirlwind. Artillery piece for Space Marines. Really good disruption, but somewhat unreliable in its accuracy. It also needs to be still to fire, which makes it kind of vulnerable in big, messy engagements like this. Orks pushing pretty well. Eldar coming to try and support the Marines. Banshee's not wanting to mess with the Warboss. I guess they're trying to bait out his stomp. But he doesn't have his cyborg implants or anything. He's a Death Tread from Cudder. Weird Boy up from oLev. We've got a Librarian on the way for Bruce Campbell. Nothing out in tier 2 for YZ. I guess he wants his Wraith Lord, does he? You would think. D.O.G not a fan of Whirlwinds. Storm Boys could jump rear armor, get some hits in with that heavy melee huge chopper. Or big chopper, I think it's called. The hammers are the huge ones. I'm liking this kind of steady, slow pace from the Apothecary. Very defensive play. Works well. Keeping everything close. Pushing up in formation. Steady going. Takes down the Kommando. Focusing fire and choosing his targets pretty well. Tier 3 for oLev. War Truck on the way for D.O.G. That's the zap going in on the Dire Avengers from the Weird Boy. And he's going to change quite a lot here. Because we have big infantry armies, especially for Big Mathis. That big clump of units is a pretty tasty bait for a Warp Vomit. Oh, last kind of getting shots on a Death Tread here. Might be going down. Oh no, out of the firing arc. No, it's not. Why did it misfire? There's the fire there. 419 to 295. Nothing around really to support the Death Tread. Librarian getting in on these looters. And he's going to do some damage with his power melee weapon. Good special attack, but he's getting shot up and needs to get out of there. Death Tread did go down. Didn't do a whole lot either. Although he also didn't, I don't think he upgraded it to burners and bits, so he did force a las cannon purchase there. Sluggers eviscerating a guardian weapon team for YZ. In fact, he's lost both of them. Has some warp spiders on the field though. Strong piercing damage, and they can teleport around and be annoying. Haywire grenade gives them some nice utility. Also, their Exarch leader has like 45 DPS power melee or something like that. Not bad. He's got a special attack too, I believe. Storm Boy's in a bit of trouble. Oh, Banshee's not attacking them though. They're backing away. War Truck is there to reinforce all of this stuff. Ard Boys on the Storm Boys there. They are off the field. Farseer has her Singing Spear. 76 point, almost 77 DPS heavy melee. And her Armor of Fortune too to support those Banshees, most likely. Banshees fights are going to get a lot tougher with the War Truck around to support things. Do you have your Haywire? It's on the way with the Aspect. So he can Haywire the War Truck and then get in with the Singing Spear. Maybe put Guide on herself. Or maybe just put Guide on the Warp Spiders to get a more powerful Haywire grenade. Power being bashed, he's been pretty diligent with that. Missile launcher up on those Marines, as you saw. There's that Warp Vomit. Commando gets out of there. What's he got? He's got his sneaky infiltration kit. And kaboom. Nob squad on the field for oLev here. Feels like a pretty early Nob squad. Here it is. Tier 3 melee squad that can go toe-to-toe with anything in the game. Especially with their upgrades, although that makes them pretty damn expensive. Mina and Green is up. Here comes the Nob leader. That guy has over 1,000 hit points by himself, the Nob leader. Their Frenzy, of course, not as good as it was. No longer gives them damage immunity. Gives them a 75% resistance instead, which is still pretty damn good. And suppression immunity allows them to get into fights relatively reliably, although you can still disrupt them, of course. That's their big weakness. Nob squad, disruption, and some nice plasma damage on them. Warboss with cyborg implants and the boss pole. Storm Boys and Sluggers will get a nice buff from that. I believe it's 25%. Yep. Oh, 20% and half suppression, which is pretty nice. Banshees have their Exarch. She has her heavy melee spear. War Truck might be under threat. Did not see the Warp Spiders attempt their grenade there, which is odd. Maybe the Farseer was trying to clean up the Storm Boys a little bit first, but couldn't quite manage it in time. Storm Boys off the field. Looks like the Orks are going to come out on top though. Sluggers getting stuck in. They've lost their Nob leader. He will have to be repurchased. Tier 3 for Bruce Campbell. Tier 3 also for Cudder with some flash kits on the field. These guys now slightly cheaper in cost, and I think they reinforce faster. I believe they're 10 power less to purchase, from 60 to 50. Mastercrafted bolter. I think that got a change as well. Signum armor's also up. 341, 264. I thought Signum armor was changed and it no longer gives you a range buff. So that tooltip might have just not been upgraded. Let me check. While we focus on this Techmarine here as he pushes forward. Get down to Space Marines. Techmarine. Okay, high powered shot cooldown was reduced on this thing. And the energy cost was also reduced from 60 to 45. That's pretty good. Yeah, it says Signum armor no longer gives range increase. So either it wasn't changed or just the tooltip wasn't changed, which is more likely. He also got some buffs to his melter gun and his axe. 317 to 264 on the VPs. Late game Painboy up for oLev to support those knobs. Eldar pushed off the west side. It stays red. Starting to gain momentum, I feel like, the Orks, which often happens when a Nob squad hits the field. Where is the Painboy? Here he is. Support sub-commander for Orks. Has some damage over time melee and a heal over time. There it is. The Git source. You can only use it on Ork squads though. So you can't supercharge up your allies' assault marines or anything. We have sergeants up for Big Mathis's tactical marines, level 3 and level 2, with a missile launcher. Oh no, no sergeant for these guys. What was I seeing then? I was seeing Bruce Campbell's marines. Here they are. That sergeant there. He does more damage, I believe, with his bolt pistol than the other models do with their bolt guns. And he's pretty handy in melee too. 283 to 264 on the VPs. They don't push for power, they stay back, stay safe. Flash Gits with the blasters. I believe their Git finders are less expensive now, which I believe they have. You can tell by the plus decorator there. 272, 264 VPs, 2-to-1 cap for Orks. It's kind of on a knife edge, it feels like. A Land Raider Redeemer could win the game here. More Flash Gits for Cudder. Double blasters Flash Gits is going to be painful for blobs of marines, that's for sure. There's a plasma cannon for Bruce Campbell. He's well into tier 3. Looks like he's saving for a Land Raider. Nob squad making a move. No suppression around really. Don't think there's any shot. Oh, there's some shotguns here. There is a shotgun blast. Doesn't suppress them. Frenzies up. But it does knock them over. Scouts barely getting out of there. There is marked target from the Signum armor. Another shotgun blast. Controlling the knobs relatively well, but they are still drawing a lot of fire and a lot of attention. You kind of push armies around, make them move in response to your Nob squads. What's this being called in? Terminators, must be for Terminators for Big Mathis. Here they are. Storm Bolters and Power Fist. They are no match for the Nobs, despite having Power Fist. They will want to get into melee on these guys. But still a great unit. Inspiring on kill and pumping out some very fierce piercing damage. I believe it's like 45 piercing DPS per model, which is around, I believe, what... Oh, down goes a Whirlwind. The sneaky commando with his rocket launcher. As I was saying, I believe that's around the piercing damage that Flash Gits do. Around, I believe Flash Gits do a little bit less with their default snaz guns, I believe they're called. Warboss trying to take the west side. Nicely timed stomp there. Couldn't quite get the cap though. He's got his bang bang hammer. That will further support the Storm Boys, which are level 3. There's the Bomber Boys setting up an attack. Jumps in for the stun. Banshee's on the way though. Staggered jump. It's only the Nob himself landing that stuns, I think. So staggered jumps are usually not a good idea for Storm Boys. Not that you can control them a lot of the time. It's usually because the squad was knocked down or something, so they couldn't all get into coherency for the jump. Librarian using his Gate of Infinity to move around those. Wow, those Terminators just took a big chunk of damage from the Flash Gits. Look at that. Might not have been the smartest choice, really, to get those Terminators up for Big Mathis. Flash Gits are getting shot up, but with the rest of the armies around, they're going to be a massive threat. a massive threat. These guys are going to try and grenade the looters, maybe. There it is. Nice grenade, too. What is he up to? He tried to do a kaboom and grappling hook, but didn't quite work out. You got to remember that where you fire the grappling hook is not where you're going to go. That's the anchor point for the hook, and you'll be flung further than that. The commander goes down over there. Good push from the Marines, looking strong despite the flash git threat and going for that natural VP there. Fire Prism up for YZ, being chased though by Storm Boys. This is dicey. Only 500 hit points on this thing at level 1. Smack, heavy melee hits to the rear armor. Trying to duck around the side here. Gets a good hit, but the Nob beater's still running. And he's going to jump again. Is he going to live? It's going to be okay. They jumped right into the base turret there, which are covering the flanks. Oh, Painboy goes down. Got way too close to all these Marines. Flash kits. If you're wondering why they're getting knocked in the rails, it's because blasters have a 10% chance for them to be knocked back. Oh, and they actually deal damage around them. I don't think I realised that. You often see the whole squad get knocked over because of the domino effect of the knockback. Nasty rocks. Really nasty rocks. No Angels of Death going up from Mathis. A big mistake, I think. He should have popped that off. I think he should have popped that off. Got plenty of red. Flash kits might chase the Terminators. They can't retreat, of course. We have also some Lamentus Terminators for Bruce Campbell. What's this? Commandos for D.O.G. Have that 50% faster capping trait. And some nice tools to use. Smoke. Disruption from Love the Daka and the Burner Bomb. And of course they can infiltrate and get an anti-vehicle weapon on their Nob leader too. 200 to 226 VPs. Slight lead then for red team, but it's a 2-1 for blue. What is this? Laser cannon going in. Boom. Looters a bit too far up here. What are they up to? Nob squad have half a level. Here's another Painboy. Has his stronger git source. Librarian under threat here. Oh, might go down. Gets away. No, doesn't get away. Does go down. Gets 40 red for taking down a Librarian. Down goes a Warboss. I still think it's kind of odd that you only get 30 red for taking down the heroes, especially when they're super leveled up. Would like it to see it scale with level. I'm not sure if that's a thing that can be done in the engine kind of thing easily. Not sure what this Farseer is up to. He needs to get out of there. Oh, Fire Prism's there to disrupt in a way. Can they cap though with the Fire Prism there? That's the thing. Commandos have their Nob leader, yep, and they are infiltrated and there's nothing to spot them. Rear armor hits would be nasty. Oh, there's Seer Council. Power melee squad that can jump into combat, provide a very nice passive buff to surrounding units and themselves. I think maybe YZ used the Farseer call-in for those guys because he's got a bunch of power and no red and no wreck. Oh, super tough beam. But down goes the Mekboy. Going after this Predator tank. There's marked target. Oh, Commando as well. Can he get on rear armor? Doesn't need to. Look at the damage that did, and down goes the tank. Needed to keep that thing moving. Bruce Campbell derped out, I guess. Oh, big kaboom. That's crazy knockback strength. Why is it so much? I think you can tone that down, fellas. I think you can tone it down a bit. Gets away. Assault cannon doing some work for the Terminators there. And they might be able to push through and decap. Blue team looking pretty strong here, to be honest. 200 to 138. Some late game rangers for YZ. Give him some sneakiness of his own. And some long-range disruption too. Come on, flash kits, do some work. Triple flash kits now from Cudder. This is going to be fun. Something being called in. Is that more Terminators for Mathis? It is. Very rarely see Terminators getting flamers. It's always fun to see them roast stuff. The Cyclone Missile Launcher is so good usually. 2-1 cap still continues to count down. I think maybe oLev should switch to the west side a little bit. Try and split these double Marines here up somewhat, because they're looking very strong standing together like this with an Apothecary. Shooter Boy's getting caught in a bad place. There's a rocks. Forces the Marines to move forward. Forces them forward. Again, no Angels of Death used by Big Mathis. Right into the arms of the Nob. There's another rocks. Hits the Seer Council pretty well as that. It is. And the Warp Spider's caught in there too, but the Fire Prism's alright. Stormboy's jumping in for a nice stun. This is kind of dicey here for Big Mathis. Apothecary's off the field. Terminators can't retreat here. And, oh, they do have potential Librarian support all the way over here from Bruce Campbell. Terminators are moving back. Teleport might have been on cooldown there, which is why they didn't use it. Stormboys just killed a Ranger model. Hard Boys is on them. Decent little push there from D.O.G. Might get the VP back for his team. He needs it. Only 70 remaining. 200 to 69. Flash kits all survived, but they will need to reinforce. How much do they need to reinforce? 8 power. 70 rep. Fire Prism level 2. He's done well to survive. But it is being decapped and now capped by D.O.G. Nob Squad fighting Terminators. One of their favourite things to do, I think. Fully momentumed up with the hammers. Look at the damage. Some Daka too. Warboss is there to buff them with the Bang Bang Hammer. Needs to hit though. Didn't hit that special attack, I don't think. And oh, Nob's dealt with. There was enough there to deal with them. They were relatively low from the last engagement. I think he should have stuck around. He's had over 1,000 hit points. Try and get at least one of those Terminator models down. Oh, did he? Oh, he did get one of the Terminator models. So well done. 178 to 62. Here comes Mathis to support the west side. Continues to look very solid. What level is it? Level 7 Apothecary too, with combat stims and improved medical equipment. He's going for Armor of the Apothecarian now. You really need to focus that guy down late game in a team game like this. Set up in this way with big Marine blobs in mid. You need to shoot the crap out of that Apothecary as soon as you can. oLev down to 3 units, but he's got a Ork battle wagon on the way. 2-1 for blue. Haven't really been able to get close to blue team's natural VP, the Orks. Wow, it's painful assault cannon on those flash kits there. Flash kits are heavy infantry, I believe, so they do have a little bit of resistance against that piercing damage, but that's a hell of a lot of piercing damage. Look at this. Terminators go down, taken out by the flash kits. They were also stunned by the Kommando. Beautiful play there from Cudder. Stun is the worst enemy for Terminators. They can't retreat out of it, and obviously messes up their movement speed, and they can't attack or do anything. Kommando flinging himself across the map and gets shot down, but there's a rocks stopping these Marines from moving back. And again, Angels of Death is not used by Big Mathis to help him out in this fight. Here comes a battle wagon. Death Roller active. Super unit for Orks. Packs a lot of firepower. If you put a unit inside it, it unlocks some more of the guns and gives it a speed boost, and can also run you over. Tends to bounce around too. 178 to 24. Those were Bruce Campbell's Terminators then that went down. 2-1 cap for Orks. So they're pushing through. West side too is a looted tank for D.O.G. Looted tank now needs this reinforced plating upgrade to do its big boom shot in 271. Terminator's getting shot up again. Trying to, I think, use their power fist on the battle wagon. Apothecary persuaded to leave. Nope, that was just him sprinting with Armor of the Apothecary. He wasn't in retreat there. Nob Squad getting in and back out of the battle wagon, chasing down some Terminators. A whole army against them, 2 armies against them, and they do retreat out of there. Need help on this side, says D.O.G. Well, oLev is here with everything he's got. He just doesn't have a lot of stuff. 145-24. Blue team might be able to push through for the natural. It might be up to. Oh, D.O.G. is talking about the west side. Pardon me, I thought he was talking about the east side. So yeah, oLev might need to take his Ork battle wagon over there, and he does. But will that allow the blue team to push through and get the natural? That's what I'm saying. Another assault cannon on the way for Big Mathis. He likes these things, I guess. Oh no, it was Bruce Campbell's who had the assault cannon before. They're both yellow. It's very confusing. Some repairs from the sluggers, level 4 sluggers, up over 1600 hit points. Double rangers late game for YZ. That's a strange one. Fire prism still around. Might be a stroke of genius to knock things off caps with those double rangers. Weird Boy on the way for D.O.G. Good choice against that relatively large infantry army, and also stop those Seer Council from getting in. Looks like Banshees were taken out at some point. I completely missed that. 104-24 on the VPs, 2-1 cap for red team. Another battle wagon on the way, this time for Cudder. Might kick off on the west side here. Big battle in the offing, I think. That's an orbital. Could be pretty nasty. Those Orks dodged it all, but went into another beam. Spread the beams out, which is what you want to do generally with an orbital. Apothecary's army continues to look strong. I wonder if he's level 9 yet for that massive heal. See a council getting stuck in. Here comes the Nob squad though. In on some Marines. Getting that momentum buff going. Battle wagon getting shots. Where are the flash kits? There they are. In the background there. Yep, that's it. Go after the Apothecary. That's the thing you want to do. Switching targets again. That armor really helps the Apothecary get away from danger, doesn't it? Flash kits doing their thing. Nob squad held up a lot of stuff there and soaked up a lot of fire, allowing the flash kits to get that damage on. But the assault cannon is pretty painful. Flash kits are now inside the battle wagon, I believe. 2 of them here, putting out some good damage. Look at that. Wow. Set up nicely by the Warp Vomit. And Orks are capping this side. 87 to just 13 hit points though. Might be too much to ask for the Orks. They really were unable to put much pressure on that central VP. Late Nob squad on the way for oLev. More flash kits for Cudder. Looks like dropped one of his squads. Can they stop this cap here? There's that big zap gun shot. Knocks the Farseer off the cap. Apothecary's there, but oh, there's the armor of the Apothecarian. Advanced healing, I think it's called. Yeah, this guy's level 10. Predator tanks shooting things up on the east side. Techmarine getting a decap. That could be vital, very vital in fact, because there's a single cap now. Down to 10 VPs, the red team. Plasma Cannon gets a shot. Oh, overshoots. Not sure what these scouts are up to. Trying to throw a grenade. They did not throw a grenade. They got shot to death. Wow, that was a good Plasma Cannon shot. Big zap gun, but that's a single cap and that's the game. Very cool 3v3. Look at these heroes end of the game. Level 6 Farseer with the Singing Spear and Armor of Fortune. The level 10 Apothecary did very well with customized Stormbolter, Armored Apothecarian, and improved medical equipment. Was so adept at keeping his fighting force in the field. Techmarine level 6. Master Coffee Bolter and the Signum. D.O.G. Warboss level 10. Look at this. Up over 1500 hit points. Mekboy was level 5. Super Tough Beam and Death Gun. He kind of fell off mid tier 3 and tried to recover with a battle wagon, but was tough for him. Kommando level 5 with rocket launcher, sneaky infiltration kit, and kaboom! There you have it guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.